Nifty. Hello, folks. My name is Keith.
I'm Cole. We're here today with Violin versus Jared. Top 16 league race.
This will be an exciting match.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this one. Honestly, like you got a really high top runner if you're in Kingdom Hearts 1, like, and you got Jared, who honestly can beat just about anyone in Randomizer. Like,
If any of you followed the Joat tournament that was a couple months back, Jared got second in that, losing only to Ninten. So he's definitely got a pedigree of experience behind him. And looking at their trackers to give an initial thought about this seed, pretty well balanced. OCN levels are a bit higher than the rest, and that Pride Lens is obviously pretty nice, but otherwise there's basically nowhere they don't have to go except for Agrabah.
Yeah, Agrabah's the only place that you don't want to go to. This is blue, and then honestly,
two guaranteed fives are scary though. Looking at it,
the only no, none of these worlds aside from the 2 5s, you literally don't know what's in any of the worlds. Like,
yep.
We're going to wait for the shotguns to even like start to decide what's in them.
Make supports slightly more important, I think, because having that information is super useful in a seed with a bunch of random point values when you can't decide where anything is.
Oh yeah.
SCT having a guaranteed 5 though is very spooky.
The thing is that you wouldn't. It's spooky, but you don't bank on it until you have 2 proofs already, right?
That's fair. You know, it's at most 1 proof.
It's only 1 proof.
Same idea with the world that never was, actually. You could probably orphan it till you have 2 proofs.
Yeah.
Then the conundrum comes when they both have a proof, and you're like, well, now what? But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
One of them, at least, you can wait for the long game, essentially.
Yeah.
18
Just
points.
pick one to... Sorry?
18 points, though, and who is kind of wonky, though.
Yeah. It's possibly 2 forms, but that's unlikely, so given that it's probably not 2 forms, it could be a very large combination of things sitting in there. We could have a form and 3 reports. We could have 3 5s in a report. We could have 6 reports. I highly doubt that, but, you know, possible. Lots of fun things that could be there. Could be a magic, a 5, and 2 reports. Lots of fun.
Crit bonuses are pretty good, though, looking at the numbers. You get 12 points of material starting off. I don't think anyone's even, like, done the math aside from that.
I mean, that's probably the only really relevant math we can do right now, so...
So we start out with at least a 5 and a 7, unless for some reason it's a form and a report.
A form and a report is a start I'd rather have, though, I think, just because knowledge plus a form I can level up early on seems really good.
Yeah.
Unless it's like
early form is
Master.
Yeah, Master's the only form you don't really want.
Yeah.
Even like Valor and Wisdom you kind of don't want, but you can at least get them out of the way if you were going to DC early.
When you shotgun DC, you could just yoink some levels through the hallway, and then you're basically set for a while. Oh, and they're off.
Off to the races. Oh, did I do a math wrong? I must have miscounted a 3. They usually start with a form though, so...
Wisdom.
9 points of material. I guess my math was off by 3. I don't know where it was off by 3.
Drive converters start, so whenever they find master form, they can level it with absolute ease.
Oh, you know what? There's probably a report. Yeah, there we go. My math was not wrong. It just, it didn't start with that.
Magnet on levels. That's actually really important. early magnets are very important to just speeding up. Not the world that never was, but basically every other world relies on magnets to go fast.
And then Port Royal has once more on Violence Grade, along with a second glide and a high jump.
Oh, that's good
That's
movement.
that's free movement, and I mean it's not going to speed up Pride Lands, but that's free movement.
Yeah, depending
I'd
on
love to see
when
it.
Jared shotguns 100 Acre, that could end up costing Jared maybe even a minute or two.
Usually people like tend to do it after the first horn page, but honestly, with these settings, you kind of just want to get the free checks in like high tense or in high point worlds, no matter what.
Yeah. He also might be just doing the circle, where it's like he just walks in a GOA circle and grabs everything in sight as possible.
Especially with this seed, you kind of want to get all those like free checks early. Well, I guess you get the torn pages now in Pride Lands, so if you don't go to poo for those first 2 pages, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, he's definitely, I think, gonna shotgun 100 Acre and at least grab the first few checks. Piglet's house, Pooh's house, get that glide. Good lifestyle. No major issues in clearing Pride Lands, it seems. They both did pretty alright there.
We both also get the magnet on levels, which is really early. Unless there's
Mhm.
like magnets on levels, but I don't know if like the tracker actually accounts for that. Like, it's two the same and it hints one of them. Which one does it actually give
I
you? The first one?
don't I don't think the same world can be hinted twice, barring some very strange seed shenanigans. But I might be wrong about that one, so don't quote me on that at all, please.
I think. Okay.
Ah,
So they're all
good to know.
general. That's good to know. Yeah. Thank you.
So it just says there is a magnet, regardless of the number of magnets, so we can't count it out quite yet. Peter Pan, though.
But there's still 23 points on levels. You got like quite a lot there to even like rely on. Like you could get like a form into 14 points, or like you could still get plenty of 5s and 7s along with it.
True. I think they're. Oh, reflect. That's depending on where there's 5 is, that's good or bad. We know there's a 5, which is good. And if the 5 is past Simba, that's bad.
Well,
You,
I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing, especially like with stat
no, but
sanity.
yeah. I guess Pride Lands 2, it being in Pride Lands 2 would be the really bad thing.
Yeah, Paralance 2 is the one you don't really want, but like hyenas actually are so good, are such good value, and once you get stat scars, also such good value. But it's no torn
Ooh,
page,
torn
so
pages. More and more incentive for Jared to get that glide from 100 Acre now.
yeah, I'm assuming he's just gonna go into DC for. Oh, he's gonna go the other way around. That's fine.
Halloween
Going,
Town,
yeah,
OC, PR, probably SP, then 100 Acre, I think.
yeah, just gonna get the early checks pretty much. Like it's not
This
gonna
side of the
matter.
shotgun, I was gonna say, this side of the shotgun isn't very movement heavy, so it's not like he's gonna lose that much time from the glide, except maybe OC.
OC is the only one that's gonna lose him a lot of time. Like,
Yeah,
Glide 2 saves, I want to say like 20 seconds in that room alone.
yeah.
It's
But no aggro, but makes me think that this side of the shotgun's probably more efficient early on.
oh yeah.
They can visit aggro if they want to. It's not like it's off or anything, but the likelihood of it having something they want is not exactly very high. There's no proof guarantee, no magic, no nothing. So,
Which
I mean, Violin has decided that
yeah.
clearly whatever it is that's there must be worth the effort.
I mean, it's a lot of free checks. Like well, checks in the sense of like abilities. It could be like a glide. It could just be like flash step, those kind of stuff. It
Counter guard.
really depends on like what you find in this first room. I wouldn't expect it to go any further. And the
Maybe
other
Bazaar.
upside is you do get 2 ethers from Aladdin, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. Ether management without money pouch is pretty important as a skill. Item boost helps a lot too.
Like, not gonna be a whole lot from Agrabah. It's just gonna be abilities and just praying you get something good.
Yeah. Nothing in Halloween Town from Jared's end either. That of major importance. Yeah, my assumption is Violin's going to go to Oasis and then dip. Basically all the checks you want. Nice reflect from Jared. Him flubbing this dance call. Well, flubbing's a strong word, but that dance call not hitting it quickly loses him a bit of time anyway, but that reflect was good to start it off. Keyblade. HP increase. And Agrabah was kind of a bust.
Unless Oblivion has like light and dark.
Oh, he's gonna go even further. That's bold. I would definitely not do this, but if it pays off, he's clearly made the right play. Well, the right play is a strong word, but he's made a good play. 2 Keyblades. DC is the other magnet.
He doesn't get scanned though, which honestly can prove like important in some fights, especially if it's a go mode.
Go mode World Never Was comes to mind right now.
Yeah, that's like the only thing.
He's going backwards. I'd do a Boo Escort for the off chance of Flare Force if I go this far.
Yeah, especially if playing on PC. If you're playing on PC
Yeah.
and you like know how to use Flare Force effectively and like Zigbar, that's pretty much your Zigbar killer.
Yeah, knowing every off chance I can get to get Flare Force is basically a chance I take if I'm on PC. Skipping OC for Jared, which means he actually saves, or my bad, loses basically no time without that glide, which is pretty nice for him in the long run. Ooh.
Once more is very early. There's also a blizzard on levels, so looking to have probably just more magic and maybe a form.
He skips 100 Acre. No, Jared.
Jared.
The circle, dude. You have 2 Dorm Pages. I guess he wants that magnet, maybe. That's my only thinking. It's a bit odd, though. BC from Violin, leveling that Wisdom for the really fast movement. He's going to lose... I believe he doesn't have an extra drive gauge, so he's going to lose drive and have to get it back somewhere. But... Oh no, he does have extra drive gauge. Agrabah.
He picked up a drive gauge increase, which is like another cool thing about Stat Sanity. If you find a drive gauge increase in a chest, you just get a free drive bar. So he went from 5 to 3 just by picking up a chest. Yeah. He went from 5 to 2 from popping the drive, and then he went to 3 by picking the chest up.
Also, really dead cool. TR for 2 reports, which I wouldn't recommend for... Oh no, 1 report. Jared has Ghost Hints without Automath, so I believe that's a 7 and 3 on drives still. Yeah, looking at Violin's tracker and Jared's tracker, I believe Jared just has Hinting with no Automath, so...
Neither of them, I believe, use Automath.
Yeah, alright. I need to keep that in mind. But, Drive Forms being dead is a huge weight off their shoulders. You could level them just for, like, having them, for, like, combat stats and movement. But not having to level them for a proof is just excellent news.
Especially like things like Master, like Final. Well, I guess you probably want to level Final anyways, just for like later fights.
That Reflect's also really good too.
But all these like worlds that have like 10, 12 points in them, they're all kind of like ambiguous of like what could be in here. So yeah, it's good to at least like get some information on them like early, because that way you can actually plan around it. Like these 10s with the magic aren't going to be anything useful, because the only thing you get from it is either the magic or the report. And the report honestly can be useful, but with how these reports work, hinting a specific or well a general location of a item, it's not the most, aside from just doing.
Kind of interested what Violent strat for Threshold is gonna end up being, because he doesn't have good tools as far as I'm aware for doing this fight. I guess he planned to use Wisdom for him, but Donald's gonna die basically to everything in this fight.
I'm pretty sure he was trying to reflect most of it, but because he hasn't set up to customize, well,
I don't think that kills him like quick enough for it to be like a good strat, but
you can maybe he knows more about Threshold than I do.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's see how this looks.
Especially with reaction boost, Backcry, like this will take like 2 Backcries.
Okay, yeah, the Backcry is really good, but that gargoyle phase was very suspicious looking.
He just
not a huge fan.
lost his magic, so I believe he tried to reflect, but his customizer was wrong, so he cured instead.
Yeah, but I think that I would have waited till I pushed either Halloween Town or maybe like even the TT to do BC, just so I'd have stats enough that even if I mess up something like that, I could just cushion myself with a nice stat increase. But at least he didn't die. That would have been really, really bad.
Yeah.
But he gets through safely, and I guess another reason to push this as hard as he is that the guaranteed 5 is very tempting and probably a lot nicer than his other guaranteed 5s currently.
I mean, aside from BC, you can't really rule out anything having a 5, but you can probably say with not absolute certainty, but you'll have a lot of them at least in LOD and OC. And right now, those aren't the best of places to go check.
I'm interested in the fact that none of them have shotgun OC at least.
I would have at least expected Violin to shotgun OC, but I believe he's just going through and committing to some of these worlds.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But I feel like committing to some of these worlds is actually better than shotgunning in some cases. Or like going and clearing out parts of it, coming back.
Yeah. Oh, 100 Acre is not 6 reports. Can't confirm. Torn Page at Rabbit's house is a bit gross, but means he could go even further.
A bit gross. You're left with 10 points, and you're kind of like banking on the fact that it's a 5.
I mean,
but
you're early enough in the seed that I'd take a magic. A fire would be really good. A thunder would be really good.
Oh yeah.
And they're the two most like prevalent magic left, so I'd take either of those. A report could also technically be game changing, depending on the report's contents. So I'd risk it. Violin getting another torn page. Wow, that's 4 torn pages we know about.
Game saves so fast when you have like no saves on your file. It's great.
Gotta optimize. Shotgunning the world was or quick running? Let's see.
Hopefully shotgunning, because there's still a lot of worlds you have, but I mean, like, I wouldn't.
0 proofs? I wouldn't do it.
It depends on how confident you are fighting Roxas. If you're not too confident.
Oh, it's done. Wait, he's quick. What is he doing? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
He's quick running?
I'm assuming he's not too confident with either of the loops or just like fighting him out normally, so it's not gonna get any faster now.
Oh. That's is that a good that's a good report because now Jared knows Halloween Town is a guaranteed 5. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So Jared got report 12. Halloween Town is master. That puts Halloween Town at a 5. After you take away that from the 14, and that's a guaranteed 5 in Halloween Town, which is really good for Jared.
So yeah, so Violin's gonna just quick run Roxas for a good solid minute and a half.
Aerial dodge. On Jared's end and OC.
I guess like Violin's probably the person who values the tools more than like knowing if a world's done. It's like the tools probably help him more than like going with fewer tools.
I'd like to at least like naturally gain levels, have above the strength floor. Even if I plan on quick running, just being above the strength floor would massively improve my Roxas speed,
If you are above the strength floor, then your keyblades do like 1 more damage, which is basically like twice the speed, yeah.
So it's like, I'm not saying that like this is a terrible play, but I'm saying that I would appreciate the speed more than I'd appreciate the tools right now in the long run, knowing that there's nothing here. That's an important check, but Violin also did shotgun Agrabah in a blue 0, so he does definitely match your approach of he wants the tools more than he wants to know that a world is done.
Yeah, so that's the only reason why I'm thinking like he's probably quick running now is he just wants like the information, like what he could get before going back. Like realistically, you'll only save like a minute on Roxas if you come back, or you'll save like a minute and a half or a minute and 10 if you actually
Yeah.
want to do Roxas. Damage floor for Roxas or the World Never Was in general is having 35 strength. So once you have 30,
VG's Dox is 32, but 35 is the generally known number.
35 is probably Final Fights then.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, it's probably Final Fights because
But
that's the
35 is
value.
like a nice round number you can easily remember, so I like using that.
Yeah,
But it's technically 32.
32 makes sense then.
But I like 38, 39. You start to see a very large increase or a jump. Like you're above the floor and you'll basically kind of melt through bosses if you know what you're doing. 35 is basically where you might start noticing a difference, just eyeballing it. And then 32 is like the actual floor. That's how I like to think of the numbers personally. Not going up the elevator. Interesting. I take the free experience, but
Yeah,
maybe he's not confident.
I mean, personally, if I were to do this, like quick run Rockets, I would probably take the free XP as well. But knowing that the world is dead, knowing that like it's really not going to be anything, you just probably just want to check and you just want to dip. Like it's fine.
Flash step.
Flash step is actually pretty good. Not sure if the time commit was entirely worth it, but you have it for the rest of the fight, or you have it for the rest of the world essentially.
And
And like
Jared's
that,
basically never going to get that if he just sticks to not doing rocks till he's ready.
yeah. And I don't even know, especially finding the second chance, like in the first 4 chests. It really depends if you value the tools. Like if you don't have enough tools going through the world never was, like, you might pick up the chest on the way up, but at the same time you also might just skip them just for the time save. So he,
Jared's thresholder fight looks like what Violin was trying to do, as he just reflects and blizzards him to death.
yeah, I think it was just a small flub, and I know I saw him press cure by accident, so I think that was probably just like the flub of the customized menu. Jared doing a much
He
cleaner fight.
also had he also had 2 more magic, which may not be that much, but in an early world can make all the difference in terms of your stats. They're both really low level. Neither of them have a push TT or corridors or any of the fights that early game tend to get you to like level 20 odd or so. Like Jared's still level 11. Violent's probably gonna hit 11 after he does this fight.
I mean, at the current places where they're at, there's not really a whole need for stats, but like they definitely do want stats soon. Because once they're done with these
Yeah.
shotguns, those stats are gonna basically be like one-shotting enemies versus two-shotting enemies.
OC Jared would want like I think 3-4 in each set at least. So his magic does basically as much damage as he needs it to do.
Also, oh wait, no, it's a 7. I was gonna say Jared's about to get his turn or his third or fourth turn page here, but the only thing you can get from Twilight or not Twilight Town, 100 Acre would be a magic.
Yeah,
So
and Agrabah is dead, so there's no reason that you'd ever need to even think about trying to look for a fire or a thunder unnecessarily. At least not yet.
well, he's already got Flare and Magnera, so there's really no
Yeah,
need for any other magic aside from maybe a fire for final.
yeah.
But like, you can deal without it.
Beast is cleaned up by Reflect very easily, so good on Jared there.
I do like the difference in like play style though already. Just like from a casual perspective. Like you've got like Jared pushed Beast and got an extra check essentially, even though it wasn't anything good. It just you either fight beasts and take the save afterwards, or you go all the way back like Violin did. I'm not too sure which one's actually better in terms of time, because I think they're pretty similar considering how fast or how long it takes to go backwards. But
They both one of them gets you extra checks, but takes longer if you're like as low stats as they are right now, probably, if I had to guess. But the other one just nets you nothing overall, so there's pros and cons to both. I think Jared pushing pound.
oh, they do have fast. Wait, do they have fast math?
No, they don't have. I know Jared doesn't.
Violin has fast math, but Jared does not. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that magnet. Okay, yeah, he doesn't have the magnet. You're right.
Yeah. Also, Jared's pushing a 19 Port Royal. He's finding a few abilities, slide dash, pretty noticeable. So that flash step in the World War is probably isn't going to be a huge deal because you really want the slide dash instead, honestly.
Yeah, flash step's a good backup and useful in certain situations, but slide dash and flash step basically fill the same niche generally. Of I want a gap closer.
Violin also picking
He's
up
also
his second reflect as well in SP.
Yeah, Jared's also gonna get like 2-3 levels off this, which might put him in the stat range he'd want to be for LOD or OC. I'm pretty sure his magnet doesn't one-shot the Nightcrawlers in LOD, so that's probably why he hasn't gone there yet.
I mean, he's got
means,
finishing plus though, so he should, if he wanted to, he could just finishing plus and just kill him.
Yeah, but he doesn't have ethers. I don't think they found a money pouch yet, so he probably wants to be a little more conservative till he does that.
It depends though, like the early waves are so free.
Yeah, no, they're definitely incredibly free, so LOD. Hollow Bastion, it's a really large world, and that 14 could be really spread out. So, I'm not a huge fan of this over LOD or OC, but it's not a bad play. Oh. That's new.
He went insane there. Holy crap! You know what? The anti form was actually probably like better than the form he wanted to go in.
Wisdom, definitely, yeah.
The only downside though is he's now like used up all of his drive, and he's already found what 3 of the 5 drive increases. So like he's now kind of like stuck in the choice of like, do I kind of have to do Bailey at this point, otherwise you have no drive gauge.
He could bail himself out by doing TT, but yeah, Bailey is basically the best option. Which, with Magnera 20 magic, he can probably just cruise through it, but...
Oh yeah, like, everything's just gonna die.
Oh, and he has enough magic to one-shot with Blizzara, yeah. He's free. Or Flare too for the Samurai. It's all looking good for him.
I love coming
Very
to that
clean.
fight with the high magic. You can just one-shot literally everything in that fight. Even with like Magnera, Magnera sometimes kills with like 30 or so magic.
Yeah, the Goofy Desks are a mod Jared is using. They do not affect gameplay in any way, don't worry about it.
What do you mean? Those are normal. Yeah, see?
You know what? Forget I said anything. They are definitely... There is nothing going on over there, for sure. Alright, this is a lot of, like, raw checks what Jared is doing, but point value-wise, I still don't think this is his best play, but once again, not a bad play. Just not the greatest point value-wise.
I don't agree with it personally, but the only reason why I don't agree with that is because you can't get 2 5s here. 14's impossible to get 2 5s. You can only get 1 5.
And we already know where a lot of guaranteed 5s are, so...
Yeah.
You're better off either pushing that or the dense play for, 2 magic.
I mean, the fire there is good, but again, you probably could have found the fire in like LOD or OC.
Yeah. I mean, having a fire is not bad, though. It makes fights like Vexen or Final Fire strats on Syax plausible, so he appreciates having a fire, I think.
Yeah, Hollow Bastion is pretty much dead. The 14 turned into a 7, and all you can have here now is another magic, essentially.
Yeah.
Which,
At least Corridors has a lot of checks to potentially give him something useful.
oh yeah, and there's still even more like checks afterwards too. Like, I'm pretty sure these two are both gonna go through and touch the monitor and whatnot. Actually, they're probably both gonna go do membership card because that's always a thing now.
Yep.
But they've got like plenty of tools to like clear out any of these worlds early on. They've got like finishing pluses with Magnera. They got Reflera to deal with pretty much any fight they want.
They don't have any explosion, Garbreak, or the like, so their single boss DPS isn't exactly the greatest, but they do have Reflera, and that's good enough against 95% of bosses, I'd say.
Yeah.
There's just a
Well,
couple of bosses I think they'd like to have a couple more tools for, I think, though.
So Jared looked through all his stuff and he actually did find Light and Darkness on Hidden Dragon. I'm not sure where that was exactly, but that's gonna be a nice
I
and quick final form. Especially he's gonna come in here, grab the 4 chests, get second chance, force final, probably dip and bail somewhere else. He might go TT afterwards, get that
with final.
instant final like
Yeah.
levels. It really depends though. Like you might just keep going to, like the high point worlds, but like any of these worlds honestly are good like right now. As long as it's not
He's
a
got
7-3,
only
fine.
3 really good high point worlds, and then he's got a bunch of guaranteed 5s, so it's interesting to see what decision he'll make is better for him in the long run.
I do like this though from Violin. He did find that he did find that fire in Hollow Bastion, and it was the postern, so there is a save point right there. So he found the postern fire and then just totally bailed. So
Ooh,
instead of
negative
going through
combo
corridors, he
in
does
TT.
yeah. He does save a little bit of time on Jared over that. So
But Jared's gonna get the final levels, and that could be huge for Zigbar.
oh yeah. Thankfully though, like drives are dead, so it pretty much you're only looking for them as a tool. So
The best that Violin's gonna find is a report that Jared may not have. Oh no, wait, they both have it hinted. Never mind. They're both I
well yeah, they're
yeah.
both here in TT, but the only thing that Jared could find on the final would be that report, right?
No, the Thunder's hinted, so they could find the Thunder, but
That
I'm
too.
just trying to think of like the best case scenario for either of the. Did he? No.
So there's our first proof, by the way. Proof of non-existence is inside Tram Commons.
It's always
15
TT.
points left in TT is actually not that bad, all things considered. But there's probably going to be another 5 in this world, knowing the math. You've got
So
3
there's
things here, essentially.
two guaranteed 5s currently. Okay, should keep track of that.
Um,
If anyone's confused where the other guaranteed 5 is, Halloween Town's hinted master puts it at a 5. Jared just doesn't have automath on.
yeah.
They don't see his tracker?
It depends on if we have automath on the restream.
No, we don't. Wait, we do.
Alright,
Yeah,
cool.
we do. Ooh. Levels are officially dead with that fire Jared just got.
Yeah, so the 16, there really wasn't many options. Unless there was like an insane amount of stuff on levels, you're pretty much looking at like the 9-5 or 9-7 up or possibility, or being. Wait, when was it? No, it's could only really be 9-7, honestly.
It
You could
could
have
be 3
5-3,
reports.
5-3, but
I'm not. Yeah, it could be 3 reports. I don't think we have quite enough information to disregard that, but either way, you don't want to push it, is the end result, I think.
pretty much.
Like, unless you get a hint that it's limit form or something, which is probably the best form to get right now. Yeah. The only form I'd even consider going out of my way for is little is limit, just because it makes a lot of fights a lot easier.
And they're still gonna get 12 on the 30th.
Proof in TT number 2.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is this, if it was a 15-point world, there was probably going to be another 5 here, but double proof TT is pretty spicy.
You know what this does? It makes the STT very scary.
Oh yeah. I mean,
because guaranteed 5 is just terrifying now. Or,
no,
well, terrifying to some people.
knowing the world never was is dead. I'd assume one of these two runners is gonna push SCT.
You
Like
could push
it's
Halloween
gonna
Town
suck.
instead.
Oh, actually, Jared could do Halloween Town.
Oh, Jared, sorry. Violin does not have that report, which was, I believe, at Kanga's house in 100 Acre.
Yeah,
So that report tells Jared that Halloween Town has a 5 left after Automath.
but you at this point you're definitely looking at the guaranteed 5s, and you're pushing, right?
You
Because
probably should. Either that or you just hit the really dense spot. Just to either just get a huge bunch of stuff so you could start mathing it out on your own without like needing guaranteed 5s. So I'd hit like OC and LOD.
you know
Alternatively, it
where
could just be in TT2. And that'd be a seed.
there's one more form hidden in everything. Otherwise, everything's in terms of 7 5s and 3s. 1, 2, 3. We've got 5 unhinted reports, essentially. 3 5s unhinted. And a lot of magic. So I'm thinking that this TT being 10 points is definitely going to be 7-3 if there's only 3 5s left.
Jared
Because
immediately goes to Halloween Town for the guaranteed 5.
I mean, you either go Halloween Turn or STT at this point, and at this point, it's probably just a coin flip between those two worlds.
It's not a very cash money thought to have.
Well, okay, so there's only two out of the 5 are hinted, right? And that not
Yeah.
hinted, but you know that 1 5 is in SCT, 1 5 is in Halloween Town, and there's 3 of them that are just like kind of out there. But like,
To be fair to Jared, that this Halloween Town's probably gonna be a lot faster than whatever efforts he can put up in STT.
oh yeah,
currently, at least.
definitely. And you get more checks in Halloween Town than SCT, like in terms of like it being now in theory front loaded, because bosses now give rewards. Like Oogie's gonna get a bunch of things, the kids are gonna give you something.
He's not on phase 3. I'm kind of amazed. I thought he'd be on phase 3 after all that.
So Prison Keeper is kind of weird. If you don't get the right like damage, like even if you're like really jacked in terms of like DPS, he survived like 1 HP from his barrier just because of how things worked out.
Yeah. Good reflex from Jared though to finish that fight. And I'm not gonna say anything about Violin quite yet.
Oh, we're praying for him. He's at least got Peter Pan and to bring him back. Or at
Depends what
least
the Berserker does here. Ooh. Saved. Is he
nicely done
safe
though.
warping? He's safe warping.
Yeah, it's faster.
It is. With his current movement, I agree. I'm just didn't expect that to occur to him as an option. But Halloween Town's got like 3-4 save warp. Well, 1, 2, 2 points where I'd consider it feasible to save warp, right? And that's one of them. But it's usually like your movement's good enough that when I go there, that I don't consider it as a option I would take. But smart on Jared to capitalize on that.
Ooh. So yeah, DT ending up becoming a 7 and a 3 with that report from Violin. Report 13 saying the Hollow Bastion was a fire, which they did grab already. I don't know. It kind of sucks though.
Oh, sorry, Jared died.
Yeah, I was looking at Violet and he used the gas, and I see the death animation on Jared's screen. That's unfortunate though. That fist does not mess around.
it has a really tall hitbox, even if it's like, you could say all you want about its grounded hitbox, but it reaches basically to the top of the screen, like the top of your jump height. So you're not dodging it from above, Jared, as much as you try.
Not even that, but like once you get hit by it once, you're gonna get hit by it a second time. So the second chance really isn't gonna save you unless you somehow like get out of it. But I don't think they have aerial recovery to back that
Not to
up.
my knowledge. Jared probably would have used it there if he had it.
Yeah.
So either they don't have it or they don't have it equipped. In either case, Jared is dead there.
I will say though that none of the racers decided to go for a CT. Well, mostly Violin at this point because Jared's also got the 5 in Halloween Town that he knows of.
I mean, Jared definitely has the philosophy that I think that in terms of time spent per 5 in worst case scenario, this is much better than STT.
True.
That's the master form. We knew that was there. Or in Halloween Town, not there necessarily at Oogie.
Violin's
Alright,
probably still doing some
so
pre-checks. I don't know if he's gonna do Minute Fight though.
Minify gets him to like level 20 if he gets some aggressive like blizzards going. So the nice thing about Halloween Town 2 is that with the flare up, basically every fight can be done with dance call or flare up as fast as you could do it with even with above the floor. Well, this is definitely a little slower without max magic or flare, but it's not like that much slower. So you lose pretty little time here.
I will say though that PR is actually not a bad number. Considering there's like one more dry form out there, if you assume it's either in like an OC, like OC is probably a good safe bet that the last form is an OC.
I bet a lot of things are an OC. I just don't want to bet if it's a useful thing or not.
But if the form is an OC, that's the last form, meaning everything's gonna be in 5s, 7s, and 3s. This 19 is gonna be either 2 7s and a 5, or probably a few 3s and like a 5.
Jared did a really cool strat there, where he uses Reflera and then dance calls, so they're all sitting in his. They're all like pulled into his reflect while he's dance calling, which does a lot of extra damage.
I'm surprised the one dude lived though.
Yeah, no, that's usually not what happens, but
That's a very safe strat though. We do use it in the speedrun as well. And if you have a draw, it's basically guaranteed you're going to collect all 4 presents, even with Dance Call.
yeah, that's a strat worth learning, if only because you never want to deal with the graveyards picking up the presents, even in like top level stat situations. Graveyards are just a massive pain. They like to frame lock you, trap you, kill you before you can do anything, reactive, all sorts of fun things. Experiment. Ooh.
I mean, you've got a guaranteed 5 here.
I'm just happy he's doing experiment, but he broke apart, which is kind of unfortunate. You can see the arm kind of.
him?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so if you do a finisher on experiment, he'll break apart. And it's not like the worst thing, because you still want to do like the damage. And that kind of guarantees just like him being in a certain spot. But the reason why I broke apart was just the reflex.
Yeah, that unfortunate thing is about him breaking apart is that you can't get him into second phase till he reforms, which, depending on how he feels, could be a long time. But Jared got not bad RNG there, I think. Peter Pan is also a godsend in this fight. If you know what you're doing, you can basically loop experiment ad infinitum. Or for forever.
So I take it back. The final dry form is not in OC. It's actually in Port Royal in its final form. Surprise. So now we're down to 10 points in Port Royal, which is... You're gonna assume
Chicken Little in Halloween Town.
You're gonna assume it's probably a 7-3, but I mean, there's still a chance that it's 2 5s. It's 2 5s of 3 5, or 2 5s of the 3 remaining that you're kind of betting on.
Just the amount of magic left compared to the amount of 5s left that can be in free spots makes me inclined to believe. Oh, that's a dry form up there.
And the limit form is on levels, so that's a pretty nice form to have on levels for both racers.
That just makes STT's 5 look very stark right now. You cannot help but glance at it every now and again, I think.
Valor form
Violin
is on. I don't know. Wait. Oh.
I was not gonna say anything because I thought maybe I missed something, but yeah, I don't know where Valor is at all, and I don't think we
Okay.
can confidently say where it is.
I'd like to retract my statement. There is another form out there. I was looking at Jared's tracker and I saw final form in his thing and I miscounted. So there were 2 forms, and one of them was in Port Royal, but the other is probably in OC. And that was probably where Valley Form is.
I mean, saying that a form is an OC is a very safe bet because the amount of points there just means that at worst case scenario, you're getting like 5, 6 magic or a bunch of reports. You're not gonna be like happy about it, but it's like no matter what you get there, you're gonna find something useful. Unless you get the 2 cures and like I don't know, 2 thunders, and even then, it's not
Pretty
that
clean
bad.
fight by Violin, by the way. Barbossa's very, very weak to Blizzard. In fact, if he's on the ground and you Blizzard him, he's just going to be stunned for literally years. And
Fire
speaking,
makes him run around. Hey,
speaking
OC.
of Blizzard,
Blizzard is a lot better than Thunder for OCs because the land soldiers in Hades Escape are actually immune to Thunder. And it is very unfortunate, but Blizzard, on the other hand, tends to one-shot him if your magic's high enough. Reflect 2. Interestingly, magic never one-shots the Lancers no matter your magic stat, so...
it
Magnets...
doesn't.
I mean, I have never seen it one-shot the Lancers. Maybe someone can disprove me on that one specifically, but I have never seen them one-shot the Lancers.
I mean, oh, you mean Magnet? Okay, I've heard Magic, but no,
Oh,
Magnet
no,
definitely.
Magnet.
Well, Magnet doesn't do like a whole lot of damage, so like it's pretty unlikely for it to one shot. Like most things would just 2-shot it if you have enough stats.
Yeah. OC is a good push here, but I'm not liking their Hydra chances quite yet right now. Also, Jared does not one-shot the Nightwalkers with Magnet, watching what he just did, so that's unfortunate.
So I will say the Port Royal is now dead, by the way, because we found that Blizzard on Barbosa. The 3 means there's a report there. And we're down to... oh boy, report counting again.
1, 2, 3. Jared has 4 unhinted reports, I believe. And then I don't think Violin has any. Oh no, Violin has 1 over him, so that's 3 unhinted reports we don't know about.
3 unhinted reports.
Magnega. Ooh, so there's another report in LOD, 2 unhinted reports.
13. LOD's actually in a really awkward spot. Wait.
This means that
13 is such a really awkward number because we have you said 3 points reports remaining.
So no, 2. If you account for the fact there's a report in LOD, there's 2 reports we don't know about, right?
So here's the thing: it's 13 points, which means you assume the LOD has a report remaining because you need the low number anyways. So you're down to 10 points, and your only options are 7-3 and 5-5. But we only have 1 report remaining.
We also have 3 5s left.
And
so it's like a 5-5 is also pretty unlikely, but one of them has to be true.
And we did see Violin just found one of the reports in OC, so that means that this has to be a 5-5 LOD, right?
Let me recount before I say something I'll regret math-wise, but I think you're right. So,
yeah.
All right, SP has a report, that's 1 gone. DC has a report, that's another gone. Drives has a report, that's 3 gone that we know about. Violin has a report from TT and OC that Jared does not have, so there's 2 reports left.
And then LOD has to have 1 report.
So that's 1 report left, I think, in the pool?
Okay.
Let me double check. There's no other reports I'm missing, right?
No, there's probably 1 report left. But like still, you're down to 3 5s. You're down to 2 5s out of your 3 versus one report with your magic. And it's I do like this number for LOD just because of that aspect, because you're more likely probably going to get the the 5. Well, I guess it's more likely to
You
have the
have to
7.
account for the fact that they're either both in LOD or both in OC.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
true.
There's like no other like reasonable explanation for wherever this report ends up being.
We're looking over at OC now. Logic, or not logic. I read stupid making the commentators do logic puzzles, and I hate. I'm blaming you, Vulcan.
He looks different today, doesn't he? But no, sorry, carry on.
Looking at OC, Violin has found a report, 2 magics, and a torn page now. And I was going to say that it's probably 3 magics, but that's one of our 5s gone, so we have 2 5s
Oh,
remaining.
it has to be OC then, no? Because then LOD can have 2 5s, and there's
But
a 5 in STT still.
There's a 9 here with a magic in OC.
Oh, you're right. Okay, wait.
So you
Jared
have...
has everything Violin has, I think. So, there's 4 5s.
So the
one
2
there,
5s
one
have to be here, and
Yeah,
the only
yeah.
other 5
Alright,
has to
alright.
be in
I
STT.
forgot to account for magic. I think there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 5s in LOD.
Math. We love math.
Oh, it's in Throne Room. Let's go.
And that is the proof of peace. Yeah, so that 13 was a really interesting number, honestly, just how it played out. But Jared doesn't have any drive. There was Fantasia in the shop at least, so he does get some Zigbar tool. But he's pretty low on like ether, so he's gonna sell some.
I think if he kills the Dragoons on the elevator, he'll get. If he kills like, I don't know how he's experience level, but if he kills like enough things, he'll get limit form.
Yeah, he just needs 1 level. Like he'll get that in elevator essentially.
Yeah, because Violin's 20, Jared's 19, and one of them is limit form.
Violin's struggling or going to Halloween Town at this point, which does have Master Form and Chicken Little.
He's gonna have to go to Experiment though, which is deep.
OD 23. I'm trying to think like what numbers 23 could have been actually. I mean, we definitely ended with the 10, which is kind of like awkward being 7-3 or 5-5.
2 10s and a 3.
But I think you have to assume there's a report there no matter what, right? I just like 23 is just an awkward number.
Jared is pulling off the latest strat from Roxas, I think.
Fast and Furious. So basically, what Jared's doing here is he's getting Roxas to a specific revenge value, and then on his second hit of his ground combo, he reflects into finishing plus reflect. And if you time it correctly, you don't get hits. But if you don't time it correctly, you will get clipped, and you have to aerial cover, and it'd still be fine. But Fast and Furious is really, really good. It's the speedrun strat for Roxas in, I believe, any category. And using auto limit there is really nice. This is Ragnarok would kill, but honestly, it's a little too late, but it's still welcoming to see that limit form just kills.
That drive gauge refill is pretty nice for Jared though.
Oh yeah.
Full on 8 drive gauge for Zigbar. Means he can do like a form for magic refill and a final to whack him.
So the speedrun strat for Roxas, you can do like the Thunder Loop and whatnot, but if you're doing that version, I mean it's not the specific version, but it's the RV version, where you basically don't use Blizzard to hit his RV, you just use your like normal hits. That's Fast and Furious. Because with Fast and Furious, you don't use an ether on like optimal play with the limit form.
Jared is doing some very interesting chest skips. He skips all the memory skyscraper checks, skips the chests in the area after memory skyscraper, then decides to go get them. But it seems like he's just dedicated to going as fast as possible now.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to go back for the ones before.
No, definitely not.
Or not go back. He's not going to get the ones to the elevator because he just wants to go up as fast as possible.
He might kill the nobody's going up for like some experience. He's like at best 4 levels off from getting 35 magic, which would be really good for Finals Emnus.
It also really
And he's
doesn't matter too much because he's gonna get level 20 in core, right?
no, he's gonna get like, I think comfortably 2-3 levels at least in Engine Core, which also puts him there. But I was mainly thinking for Syx and Luxor, having a stronger reflect would be a good thing.
Yeah, that's you. So Zigbar is going to be kind of a little awkward. I mean, he's got final form to like easily coast through this, but you're pretty much going to get him into room position, and then as soon as you hear his voice line for a DM phase, you're just going to knock him out of the room.
One caveat is that on the PC version, his voice line sometimes gets eaten up, and it's no bueno.
At least with like these stats, if you do this comment here,
though.
he's not gonna get him like here. He's got to do another comment after this comment essentially, and then he'll be in.
I mean, the 8 drive gauge is really good here, though.
Oh yeah, I don't know. That's. I'm glitching for Jared. Yeah. So unfortunately, the RV was way too high. So now Zigbar is actually in his DM phase.
But he's dead. Wow.
Okay then.
I didn't expect him to die there. So impressive from Jared.
The RV was way too high, so when he pushed him out of the room, it wasn't guaranteed that he was going to get the action loop, which is a way that you can keep Zigbar reloading without sending you into a DM transition. But thankfully, he did get a lot of damage with that Master Form, and that Reflect and honestly just aerial finish was just more than enough to kill. But that was if not, that didn't kill, he was gonna get DM there, like on the spot.
So, something to note is that Jared, in Stat Sanity, you have the ability to find HP in random places, and just having enough raw HP lets you all survive a lot of things you're not meant to survive at Jared's current defense. But I don't think he has enough HP to survive anything, really. He's gonna get like one shot by a stiff breeze right now, so he's got to be extra careful.
Second chance once more though, so they do have a lot of safety.
Oh no, for sure, they do have safety in that, but it's like if he messes up and gets himself stuck in a bad combo, he's just gone.
That's true.
So, and I don't think they have a money pouch to my knowledge.
Neither of them do. Jared did sell a bunch of accessories before coming to the World Never Was because he wanted just ethers. Because at this point, Jared's going to the end.
HP recovery is basically limited to auto limit, which, to be fair, with second chance once more is incredibly potent. Also, wow, that swag reflect. Well, swag might be a strong word, but that really good reflect off the card there was nice.
I don't know if potioning here is actually the play, because I think you want to be on crit HP and you want to greed it out to get auto. Oh, he doesn't have. He has auto limit, but he doesn't have anything else to skip the DM phase aside from auto limit.
I mean, auto limit and an ether, but I don't know if he wants to spend an ether on this.
Yeah.
Like, when you don't have money pouch, every ether you have is pretty precious.
Oh, he doesn't have auto limit on for this fight. Okay, that's fine. He took it off. He had it for Roxas just in case he messed up, which is fair.
He probably doesn't want to mess up like an RC or something on Syx. If I had to guess, but I don't know. Or for Syx is not the boss. Something Zigbar. He didn't want to mess up something on Zigbar by pushing triangle by mistake. There we go.
That's probably fair. Also, yeah, Violin's gonna be heading into STT after clearing out Halloween Town.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a guaranteed 5. Like I said, I expected one of these 2 runners to go to STT, and I expected like
his
information.
Violin's options also include 100 Acre, so
yeah, 100 Acre, LT, or STT, but you got a guaranteed 5.
We know that. I think. Actually, we don't. Violin doesn't know that. No, sorry, Violin doesn't know anything because he hasn't been 100 Acre for the knowledge. So yeah, Violin's got a bunch of options that have, in his eyes, basically equal probability. Well, one is a guaranteed 5, and then one of the remaining locations has something, and he can't guarantee which one is which quite yet, I think.
Well, Jared's got Combo Master. Okay, so these fights are going to be So Jared has practiced the speedrun. He's done speedruns this game before. So he's doing something called RSR, or Reflex Slapshot Reflex. But he's doing the even better version where you can Reflex Slapshot Reflect as well as Reflect again if you do it early enough. So effectively, each time Syx is retaliating 3 whole reflects off that is doing full damage.
Even below the floor, where Flare does a comfortable amount of damage to Syx, so 3 is at least a bar, I think. They don't have scan, so I can't confirm, but it's a lot.
Oh yeah. Palms clenching.
I'm a little surprised he hasn't equipped auto limit, but
Peter Pan save him?
Oh.
Okay.
So Aerial Spiral and Peter Pan is a lot of damage.
Also, yeah, Raisin did point out SET is unfortunately going to be the genie. Wishing Lamp, though, from the Olette money bag into the genie. It's a sign. Leave all you can, Violin.
It could be a torn page.
No, the torn page is.
Did I miss where that torn page ended up being? Jared has a torn page left, and I don't think.
Oh yeah, Rabbit's house. No, he's.
No, but Jared has another torn page left. That's the one I'm thinking of. That's an OC.
Oh,
See, that's what I was trying to look for. All right, thank you. All right, that's good. Yeah, so Genie. Thank you.
Genie? I just want to know where the Genie is. Is this the Genie Twilight Thorn?
Data Roxas Genie?
Who needs limit form Twilight Thorn when you've got Genie Twilight Thorn?
True. Oh, he didn't get the Aerial Spiral? Unfortunate.
I actually don't know if 23 versus 15 after this. I think he would still push the LOD 23 over the 100 acre or 15.
The counterpoint here is that you can clear most of 100 acre, whereas LOD will take a while, compared to 100 acre at least right now. Like time-wise, just raw time, not like checks or anything.
Counterpoint, you have 3 5s left in Violin's pool. And if there's 1 5 in STT, then there's only 1 5 in 100 acre, and then there would be 1 5 in LOD.
Well,
so
yeah,
you can't have 2 5s. It just depends if you.
He doesn't know the makeup of the seat though, unfortunately, so he can't like make a good judgment call like that. I think.
Well, he has everything aside from 3 5s.
Yeah, but like because he doesn't have those 3 5s, he can't accurately predict which world would get him a 5 faster. You know. That's my thought here for Violin.
I guess it really depends on if you want like the extra stuff from Melody as well.
Yeah.
Versus you'd only get a magic and a report in 100 acre.
It's okay, he's gonna get Genie, and Genie's gonna carry him through LOD. In that section where you have pink, where you can't summon, it'll be amazing. That was a joke, by the way. You can't summon an LOD. I should clarify this. Alright, how many ethers does he have? Is that 4 ethers?
He's got 4 item slots, and he's putting on a Mega Elixir and an Elixir. He's got 3 Elixirs, 1 Mega Elixir, so he can use 2 Elixirs comfortably throughout literally any fight, honestly. As long as you have 1 Elixir, Mega Elixir for Finals Dumbness, he'll be pretty much comfortable.
The only issue is that he's below the floor, but that only matters if he messes up some strat here, I think. So recovery's going to be really hard more than anything.
I mean,
but if he doesn't mess up,
he has Final Form Magnega, so like he doesn't really have to worry too much.
Oh no, I was thinking more about Armor 2 and Final when I was thinking about recovering from messing up. But you got a point.
But well, Final, you're saving the Mega Elixir at least for Final because you only have 1 of those. But he's got 2 Elixirs to spare essentially, which you would use in like Armor essentially, or like just Core even.
Is that Setzer? Alright. Does Violin get the check here? We know it's Genie, but nope.
This is being a deep check in SCT for Genie.
Anything post troubles is pretty bad time-wise for STT.
So yeah, Jared's getting the limit form on level 20. I mean, you would have liked to have that for out the world never was, but honestly, it's still fine. You want that for Finals Omnis more than anything.
Nice.
Especially with like these stats, Jared knows. Well, Jared hopefully knows how to at least do more damage into laser phase with stuff, but it doesn't matter a whole lot as long as you can get the dome skip out of it as well.
You can also think of it limit form as a very basic guard plus MP bot in Finals MS. So, worst comes to worst, it can basically just stall you out the fight to get you MP.
Dude,
I doubt it'll come to that, but
I was hoping there'd be like something else in STT, but this is just really unfortunate, just like the abilities.
Genie's probably the best thing he's gonna get here, and that's pretty depressing.
Yeah.
No explosion, no like horizontal slash.
You still got
that good stuff.
one big room of chest to go through, but
Yep. Jared putting that limit form to good use, but he doesn't have a form for Armored 1 now, I think, is the problem.
he's got the elixir to spare though, so I think he'll be fine. He's got Comet or Session, like he'll probably just pop it and roll with it.
Yeah, but he doesn't get like a nice clean limit form or final form combo to finish it off with Session. So he's gonna have to either, I guess the elixir is good enough, so just a couple 2 limits. Like,
the elixir is mostly for safety, just so you can comment with reflects in it, so you can just basically do a lot of damage. Oh no, he's just gonna use. He's gonna use Session, probably.
He gets limit form at least this upcoming fight.
Oh yeah.
Maybe even final, depending what he does.
Where is the Genie?
This is a really deep Genie.
I need my magic man.
Oh, hang on, he hasn't lived this room yet. Okay, maybe it's not that bad. That's a great Genie.
There's the Genie.
Yeah. Having Reflera over Reflect means that Jared can comfortably use Reflect to damage Xemnas without, like, risking death every time he tries. There's the final form. Final Glide is cracked in damage, which is why you see Jared kind of, like, gliding into his shoulder.
So Violin's pretty much going to hundo the 5s for this seed, going to 100 Acre. I don't know if he knows the math, and knowing that if it's a 15, there's only going to be 1 5 here if he does find a 5. So I guess we'll see if he dips after this first Torn Page and Rabbits. If he does, then he's actually got the knowledge, and he'll go far in this tournament, hopefully. Because like knowing how the math works out, it definitely helps speed up the run.
I'm just gonna hop in really quick here to say that finding the 5 in 100 Acre Wood, leaving a 10, it's interchangeable as a 7-3 with the 2 5s you found in LOD, so you don't know which one is correct.
Right.
Until you find the report.
More that,
but I'm saying...
Wouldn't Violin know there's only 1 5 in the pool? Oh no, there's 2, because LOD has...
What I'm saying, though, is in his pool, he only has 2 5s left, so it's impossible to be 3 5s here. So the only combination that you can have a 5 in this world is a 7-3.
100 Acre Wood is a 10. It could have been the 2 5s that LOD could have had the 7-3 instead of 2 5s.
Right.
They're 2 10s interchangeable.
Is he down to 2 5s at this point then?
He has 100 Acre Wood as at 10 points, and he has LOD at a 23. You don't know. You can't know until you find the report in Kanga's house to say, okay, now it's a 3.
He has 2 left. Let me see.
Well, that's my visual. Does he have 2 left? Wait, which? Oh, okay. No, he's missing Stitch and the proof, so they're interchangeable. Yeah, my bad. I thought he had 1 left here, but there's the 10 in LOD. Yeah. Okay, thank you. That's actually... I'm spreading misinformation. It's really hard to visualize like 2 trackers at once when I'm looking at their trackers and not the restream trackers.
Jared using
And
his limit form to do a good final Zemnis strat.
this is, yeah, so with the magic set, they're not going to push him straight into laser phase, so we can use limit form to actually edge him further. And with that, you can pretty much go from the start of laser phase and then just carry him all the way to the end.
Oh, that
Ooh.
R is missing is catastrophic. Well, catastrophic is a strong word, but it's not good.
The issue here now, though, is
He's flying blind. I don't know if he knows the damage values here.
he's gonna session here no matter what, though. And he's got 2 elixirs essentially.
That was the wrong one. It's unfortunate. Oh.
Okay, well, Jared's gonna get DM'd here no matter what, unless he somehow drops out of this. Okay, you're just lucky. You're lucky. So, depending on where you are in the RC, you honestly can just get instantly DM'd. But the Reflect actually managed to stagger Zemnis, so he got the dome skip.
So
Yeah, so
Jared finishes, and Violin's low list is probably not going to catch up in time.
yeah, so the correction that I was given was when they get the Torn Page in 100 Acre, there's a 10 remaining. And at that point, there's 2 5s remaining. And it doesn't matter, or you don't know which world has the 2 5s. But both worlds have the case of being 2 5s. Even LOD would have 1 5, and regardless.
The way I thought of it to explain it myself is that you can think of LOD as having, brain work with me for a second. I had this really nicely written out in my head. You can think of LOD as having a 10, and then 100 Acres having a 10, and then you could basically swap what those 10s contain in either. You know? That's how I thought.
Oh, Raisin's saying that because there has to be a 5 in the value, therefore it has the 2 5s.
Alright, first off, GG's to our 2 racers.
Yeah,
GG.
Yeah. GG's to Jared.
Yeah.
Violin coming pretty close, though you were pretty much just a world apart.
So, how did it feel to find that Genie in STT?
Pretty shit.
Fair enough. You both made a few choices where you decided to go further than the important check value to loot a world. For example, I remember Jared went into Beast, despite the fact that Beast Castle ended in like the hallway, and then Violin went into a couple of blue places. So, what were your thoughts on that?
Just the value in it. Like, I could get a finishing plus, I get horizontal slash, slide dash, like gap closers in general.
Right.
So light and darkness is also a good one.
Explosion would be nice.
Yeah, like in general, just combat tools to make fights faster and safer.
Right.
Either of you ever think about leveling up? You were both basically below the floor for almost the entire seed. In Jared's case, he got just above the floor at the end. But thoughts on that?
I haven't checked Keyblades recently. I don't know if I have EXP boost, but I definitely didn't have the tools I wanted to level grind.
Yeah, I could have done it with Stitch and Magnera, but like I didn't. I guess I had Blizzard, but like I was mainly looking for like Finishing Leap, Thunder, um, Explosion would have been nice.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times where like you do screens, it's like 2 minutes, you get like 4 levels out of it. And it's just kind of like a waste of time.
Right.
Opposite questions, I guess, for both of you. Jared, you pushed LOD over Violin. You pushed OC over LOD. So let's start with Jared. What made you push LOD over OC?
I didn't want to get baited, first off. I felt like that number was too big. It was that there was like a bunch of forms left in the pool. Like I know STT or TT couldn't have one. After doing LOD, after I got I think the Magnet or Stitch, I figured out the forms were an OC or PR.
A Magnet. The Stitch and Proof were in the same room.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and also like I had Master Form, and I was going like pushing my advantage of like having the information, pushing up to experiment because I didn't know if Violin did that. Because like that, I feel like that play was kind of wonky because it was off my information, the report.
Yeah.
What else? It was fast. It's faster. It would have been like if I was above the stat 4, I could make OC faster. I didn't have the tools. I was losing like 30 seconds or like 40, which isn't a lot, but LOD was just faster.
Why'd you push OC over LOD then, Violin?
I went to OC because the number looked nice, and I actually did have decent tools. I had Magnera and Reflego, so, and I was also trying to not get baited by 100 Acre and STT, which I later got baited by. So that's essentially my thought process. I also don't like doing LOD, just in general.
Entirely fair. Cole, you got any questions for them?
Honestly, not. I actually don't have a question, honestly. Like, I guess, like, the only question I have is, I was trying to, like, figure out why Violin you did Agrabah and Roxas. I'm guessing that was just purely for tools at early on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
That was like the only like oddball thing I saw from your side, but I can definitely respect the tool search because honestly, tools in this seed would have been phenomenal, especially with an early Magnera and finishing plus.
Any comments you two would like to give out in general about this seed or this race?
Who rolled the seed?
Are we allowed to disclose that?
Who do I blame for this?
It was me.
It was you, Zach.
Slash ban Zach.
Slash on mod, slash ban.
Yeah.
I see.
It makes sense. I feel like Zach Seeds would have something to experiment.
Yeah. Well, GG.
Yeah, GG's.
That was fun.
Yeah.
In the chat, we have the links to both of our racers. Make sure to go check them both out. Give them a follow, maybe even a sub if you like them. Make sure to tune back in later tonight at, is it 11:59?
Yeah.
11:59 EST tonight for, let's see, there's a race of, I believe it's VG versus
Eldrick.
Eldrick, thank you. So make sure to tune back into the Rando channel if we do a restream, and if not, at least check out the race in general. And